Welcome, listeners, to this episode of Listen, Kristi. I'm Liz.
Kristi.
And we're so excited for you to be with us today. And if you're viewing us, don't worry, we have not lost the pink chairs, but we actually have two guests with us today, and they're sisters. Some of you locally probably know them, have heard of them. Maybe you've even shopped some of their products.
I bet you have. Hashtag Amazon made me buy it.
Kortney and Karlee are here with us today, not only to discuss some of the, fun history of having been up close and personal with Kristi.
Well, Kortney worked for me for all through undergrad and graduate school, so over 7 years.
For Canines for Cops.
Yes.
So she knows the ins, the outs, the bad stories, the good stories, all the stuff. Right. And you've watched her grow up and evolve to this incredibly...
I keep saying that. I said that they're like my little sisters. Truth be told, they're young enough to be my daughters, but they're family.
Yeah.
I mean, they're family.
And they have just absolutely killed it in what many people would have thought 5 or 6 years ago was just a flash in the pan. Like somebody said to you years ago of, you know what, you're never going to make it in this industry, but they put their money where their mouth is and they put pedal to the metal and just trucked away at it until it has become into what they have today, which is a full-fledged career in social media content.
And Amazon influencing.
Right.
And they are one of the top 10 Amazon influencers in the United States.
In the top 10? I thought top 200. Oh my gosh, we really were amongst royalty, weren't we?
Right.
Yeah.
And they started it basically right when COVID started.
Yep.
And
they're going to tell you all about it.
They're going to tell you all about it. It's a fascinating story.
And with that excitement, we have Kortney and Karlee with us, who are local to Bryan College Station and have been friends of yours for how many years?
Oh my gosh, forever. I said I love to say that they're like my second daughters, but I tell myself they're more like my little sisters before we can.
And so,
they're more like my daughters.
So for anybody that doesn't know, you met them. How old were they?
I
was
Karlee,
19. She probably met me while I was still in high school.
You were still in high school. Yeah. And
I think I started working for you in like 2018. Yeah, because I would have been a senior in high school. So
yes,
yeah, I think that's right.
That's right.
Yeah. So these girls were kind of like the beginning of like some of the Canine for Cop help in College Station. And, I think that you guys have seen Kristi's life up close for a long time and up close and personal.
Traveled together and had some hilarious moments together. All respect to Luke Combs. I didn't know who you were. And if you just lost a little weight and shaved.
Do you want to tell that story about Luke Combs?
We had an event for Canines for Cops, and it was a bass fishing.
Mm-hmm. The Brian Robinson tournament.
Yes, Brian Robinson Foundation. And who was the influencer that was there?
Ed Bassmaster.
Okay.
Yes.
And so we go to East Texas and we're exhausted and we've been out all day long. And so the Minnesota Vikings, Adrian Peterson, and gosh, I don't know any other players, but all the players came to support Brian and turn Canines for Cops. And then we would have a Calcutta and you could buy one of those players to go out and fish with them and all the great things. So that night we go to, it's a grocery store / dive bar / breakfast place.
All the things in one.
You need bait, you need whatever. And there was this guy in there and he was singing at the bar and he's kind of big, heavy set, jolly, ruddy guy. And I said, his brother is a professional bass.
Okay, so no, they're not actually brothers, but they have the same last name. So they like pair them up as fishing brothers, I guess. I don't know.
Well, so I just getting out of the rest of the story.
Right.
And so I'm trying to think, what was his big song he just had?
When It Rains and Pours, maybe?
Yes.
Or Hurricane?
I
think it was Hurricane.
Hurricane. And I'm like, if you just trimmed up and like shaved and, clean your look up, you have a pretty good voice.
She had no idea who he was.
Did you know who he was?
Yeah, of course knew who he was.
And how long did you educate him about, ship shaping up his style before everybody was like, shut up, don't talk?
Well, nobody did. I mean,
they just let you carry on?
Yeah. And I think my next screw up, everybody gave me hell over that. And then Brian, the next morning, remember, he was so excited that his coach
was coming. Yeah.
The coach. And I know I'm supposed to know he's somebody famous.
Mike
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman. Yeah.
So then he says, I can't believe he came out. I can't believe he came out. And so Adrian goes, I know. Adrian Peterson's like, I know, right? Listen to me, Adrian, we're best friends. And he wrote me a big check that day. And I said, how long has he been in the closet? They both look at me and Adrian starts laughing.
Busted
And
out
Brian
laughing.
is like, what? And I go, is he gay? And he goes, no. And I said, well, what's he coming out for? And he said, from Minnesota to the event.
He came out to the fishing tournament.
Oh, he goes, but no, we have ammo now. We can't wait to give him that.
We have lots of those stories. I feel like in your, history of mistaken words.
Yeah.
There's another one for later where somebody asked you if you wanted to hook up, but we'll talk about that
But
another
who
time.
was the other one when we had the tournament the next year? And you were like, with the ESPN was there that year, and they were like, he's in the limo outside.
Randy Moss
Randy
was
Moss.
there. And you remember we had the red Crocs on.
Kind of. And I said, who's in the limo? And he said, well, the guy from ESPN said, it's a town car. And we were in Wabasha, Minnesota, where they filmed Grumpy Old Men. And
I
it's
love
this
that movie.
bucolic, beautiful little town. And you know that nobody there probably locks their doors. And it's just the sweetest town. And I said, and so this guy's retired, this Randy guy? And the guy from the Vikings and the ESPN guy were standing there, and they said, yeah, he just retired. And I go, is he hurt? Why is he just sitting in the car? Why doesn't he come in? Well, because he's worried about fans. I said, tell him stop being a diva and come in here. When they don't remember your name is when it's going to hurt. And so the guy leans over, and I don't know if it was ESPN or Minnesota Vikings. He goes, he's in the Hall of Fame. I go, okay. But he can walk on his own though, right? So then he kind of came in with an attitude, if you remember. He was like, you lady didn't know who I was? And I go, well, you didn't know me either.
I just remember he showed up the next day at the fishing tournament. He had red Crocs on.
Yes,
and
I
he
do remember that
he
now.
posted it on his Instagram too, and it was like #red Crocs. And
he ended up winning like his division or something, didn't
I
he?
think so. Yeah, I think they did good.
He loved it.
I still say, in like A Day with Kristi, I feel like every day is a new reality show.
She learned more than her college education.
Oh,
Spending
for
time with
sure.
Kristi. We both have.
100%. 100%. When everybody's like, what's your podcast going to be about? And it's like, showcasing the day in the life of Kristi. Like,
But today it's all about them.
it's all about them. So with that being said, at the age of, you were 16
I was 16.
and Kortney was 19 and you were working for Canines, you came up with this great idea to launch your own influencer network.
YouTube channel. Yeah. My very first video was my college dorm room tour at A&M. So I waited until I was already moved out before I posted it. Don't worry. Cause like people were commenting that like, don't give your location away. And I'm like, long gone out of there. And then we just stayed on YouTube for a few years, just posted for fun. And then,
But hold on, where did you come up with like, hey,
Okay,
I
well,
want to be this?
She always wanted to do a blog, but like we both of us hate writing, and doing a blog was just not going to happen.
and at that time I knew nothing about tech. So I like didn't know how to even set up a blog, but I just always loved like watching influencers and watching people like the OG YouTubers doing their daily life vlogs. And so I was like, okay, well, I can't necessarily like make a blog, but I can talk to a camera. And so that's how we started on YouTube.
And how much research? Because I think this is an important question. Is like a lot of people have asked us, like, what do you need to do to get started? Like, how much research did you really put into it before you started? Or did
Not
you
much
just
when
say,
we
you know what,
started.
I'm just going to do this and learn as I go?
Yeah, I feel like ours was
Exactly.
just,
Yeah, I just put a video up
if
and
we don't
learned
put
as
ourselves
I
out there, then
go.
nothing's going to come of it.
And what level of dedication did you give to the process? Like when you first started versus like, we'll talk about where you are now later, but like how, talk us through that timeline basically.
I would say just, it wasn't like, I wasn't super dedicated. Neither were you. It was more
Yeah, well, I got
just-
made fun of it in high school. And so,
I remember you telling me
yeah, and
that.
so I didn't do
The
as
other
many as she
kids-
did. Yeah.
Kind of made fun of you. I was like, where are they now?
Yeah, exactly. It was more just for fun. Like if there was a new makeup palette coming out or if we were going on a trip or something, I would just do it whenever I had free time. just upload for fun.
And so how long into it were you before it caught on to a place where you're like, oh, I could potentially see myself doing this more full time?
In 2020, our
Yes.
cousin told us
Yeah.
to start on TikTok, and we were like,
And
no.
we were stuck at home with nothing to do for a whole year. And I was like, well, might as well post and see. And so we started posting like 3 times a day on TikTok, and it took off from there.
Okay. And now tell us, kind of like, go through that whole thing of how you came up with how are we going to use TikTok and post on it, and what are we going to use to make money?
So we actually started off doing more like recipe videos. And then there was a whole trend. It was called whipped milk. It was literally like it was like the whipped coffee thing, but we put a spin on it and did whipped milk. And so we made like Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles. I mean, anything
Lucky
under the
Charms,
sun, we had
Cinnamon
made it
Toast
into whipped
Crunch.
milk.
Yeah, we probably, if
So
you
you
go,
would make cereal milk and then you'd whip it up and eat it?
yes,
Yeah.
you would like soak the cereal in the milk, and it was like then whip it.
A whole process. And I had this set voiceover I did for every one of them, and they did so well. But
Okay, but wait. Let me back up here 1 second. So I knew that they had this YouTube, and I remember Carly telling me, yeah, the other kids made fun of me, and I was like, I'm telling you, you stand by that. One day, because you'll be so ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they came to me, and it was like March 2020, and they were like, well, we're going to quit because we want to pursue this full time. I'm like, what does it do? And she's like, well, we're kind of figuring it out. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. You have to think about, you can still do that on the side. You can't leave a good job because I didn't say, whip up your Fruity Pebbles. But I mean, nobody was doing anything like that. So me telling you, leave your eyes and
Kind
your
of all those
brain
people
open.
who told you not to take a job on the internet?
Right, exactly. And I was like, no, you need a job. So you need to keep working. And they said, we want to really pursue this full time. And I'm like, I love you anyway, but I'll be waiting for you when that doesn't work out. Well, I mean, literally, I know people would send you things to video, and she's like, we've moved our furniture out of our house because it's so stacked up. People
Products.
sending us products.
So your career has essentially
Like, I got a job
exploded
for me.
over the length of COVID.
yeah,
Yes.
so 3 years, 4 now, 3 to 4 years.
So when you started in March of 2020 and you were doing TikTok and you were doing the whipped milk,
Yes.
how did that morph along and how
So,
fast did it change?
When we started doing the whipped milk, and Kortney was like, Karlee, like, there's no money in this. We're not going to make any money doing this. I mean, we actually had like a couple like news channels reach out to us, like big news channels, and ask for our content. It was like our whipped milk content, which at the time we were like, no, we didn't want to sign rights away to our videos or whatever. And Kortney's like, we have to figure out a way to monetize this.
So we did I would say probably all of 2020. We did like air fryer videos.
Oh,
whipped
that was
milk.
another trend. Air fryer. I mean,
if you
just
want to
ice
see some
cream,
cringy videos,
just
You
scroll
put
on TikTok
ice
for a
cream in
while.
the
You
air
would
fryer?
put ice cream in like a croissant
air
roll
fry?
and put it in the air fryer.
Yeah.
can you air fry ice cream? Oh, we air fried everything.
It was like whipped milk, but air fried version.
Yeah, we probably have like 200 or 300 videos of just air fried foods, as
An
well
egg?
as the.
You can air fry an
Whipped
egg
milk.
and it becomes hard boiled. That was a
Really?
fun one. Yeah.
Can it peel easier?
It worked. Yeah.
My
Okay.
daughter used to do the Will It waffle.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Oh,
that?
we did that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, we make pizzas.
I've
and
got to
all
get more
kinds of stuff.
creative. I mean, I did think yesterday, I wonder if I could use chocolate milk in my steamed coffee because I don't have real milk, but that's about as creative as I get.
Yeah, no, we literally tried to air fry everything and made everything into whipped milk.
So then we got a couple months later, we had posted a couple YouTube videos, and someone from the Amazon team reached out and was like, hey, we're starting this new beauty influencer program. We would love for you to be a part of it. You had to post, I think it was like 10 videos a month that were beauty related
products.
content, which at the time we were like, oh my gosh, how are we going to figure out 10 videos? Like, that's a lot to dedicate to beauty. And now we're like, every day we're like, okay, well.
Oh, so you're still doing that?
Yeah. So at the time we had just gone into their
We were just,
beauty
like,
influencer
food.
program. Yeah. So
It was like food, whatever we thought
Is
would.
that the FBA program? Or what is the influencer program called at Amazon?
Amazon influencer program.
Okay.
But it started out just as beauty?
No, so it's like within the influencer program, they had different like
they had home beauty and fashion.
yeah. So you
Okay.
could
So we just got approached by the beauty program first, which then later morphed us into the
rest
other
of them.
programs.
So you can do all of them or just one of them?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. And so, yeah, we had we were posting on TikTok, whatever we thought would get views or would get us more followers, but it was making zero money. And so then when Amazon came along, we started posting those 10 beauty videos a month. And we're like, oh, hey,
we can actually do this.
We're making some decent money from this. And so that's kind of how our content just morphed into Amazon products.
So at the point when you were doing that, do you remember about how many TikTok followers you had when they reached out to you?
Probably like between 100 and 200,000.
Yeah.
You guys were like the noobs of this whole like
Right.
viral. Like I feel like people look at social media influencers or, you know, Amazon made me buy it, which is kind of your hashtag,
Got
right?
started.
Yeah.
And now it's everywhere, so you don't think about it as much, but you were on the cusp of kind of starting all of that.
Yeah, there was probably only like
7 or 10 of us
that were just doing it at the very beginning.
Amazon.
Yeah.
And they've flown y'all to some great places. And what are those experiences like?
And the relationship with
super
Amazon.
fun. We've got to go to San Diego, and then
Kortney went to New
I went
York.
to New York in December. So I had never been to New York before.
Then they
So that
always
was a
have
lot
a
of fun.
Prime event in Texas. So we get to go into Austin and do that one. That one's really fun.
And how many people do you usually see at these? Are they always kind of the same people or?
So a lot of
Yes
the
and
same
no.
people, but at their yearly summit, they have, I think it's either 200 or 300 people. And then like the Prime event, I think they had it in a series of days.
Yeah, it was like 4 different nights, and we were on the last night, which
And these are like their top producers.
yes. So like
Yeah.
we had no idea. We were
You're
talking
in like the presence of royalty.
I know we are.
I just got goosebumps.
we were talking to all these girls at this Prime Day event this last, I guess it was May, somewhere
That was
around there, June something.
June.
Yeah, this last summer. And talking to all these people, we're like, where are you from? You know, making connections. And come to find out, none of us had made the connection until dinner had came around. It was Texas influencer night.
Yeah.
So we're all from Texas, and like a bunch of us didn't. I mean, we knew each other, but like didn't realize it.
Geographically?
No, they just said that's why they picked Texas to be their Prime event for the last 2 years, is because so many influencers, especially southern states, but especially Texas is really big for their influencer program.
And I need to reevaluate that because y'all came over and set up my
Yep, your page.
We have it set up. We just need to, along with all the other things we're doing, have to dedicate the appropriate amount of time.
They set it up, and I would go in, and I love to write. So I would write these elaborate reviews.
They were really good.
Well, and so then I got in trouble with Amazon because they thought that I can't remember what
But
they
then
were.
she started getting paid, and we had no idea
still
where the
don't
money was
understand that.
coming
You
from.
remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I could get up to 10 to 12 deposits a
Yeah.
day. And I'm
And
like,
some
hey.
of them would be $50 to $200. Like you just never knew.
Yeah, that's crazy. I still don't
Yeah, I
understand that.
don't
And
know.
that
were-
must have
she
gone
wasn't
on for
selling
6
anything.
months, 8 months.
Yeah, I know.
But if I liked something, or if I wrote about something, and I guess if someone,
Bought it, you're getting commission or something, maybe.
well, I don't know, you tell me, y'all are the OGs.
know.
I don't know either, but they kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I need to get back in my.
We need to go
Reviews.
toggle some buttons around on your ass.
Yeah, but I mean, all of a sudden, I was like, I get this one check for like $50, and then I get a check for $11, and then it'd be $300. And I was like, what is this? It wasn't ever like a
Consistent.
Yeah,
consistent.
That's crazy.
And then they shut my page down. And I was like, what? And I ended up talking to somebody there, and she was wonderful. And she's like, I think there's just been some confusion. And she's like, the activity that you're getting a lot of activity. And she said, are you writing these reviews? And I said, yes. And she goes, I think that the computer's flagging it because it's very elaborate.
You were really dedicated.
Yeah. And she goes, no, it's just the computer grabs it and flags. And I'm like, okay. So I'm out of the doghouse. So went back to writing my reviews again. How I could write War and Peace on Charlotte Tilbury.
You're still waiting for your paycheck,
naked lip liner or something like that. But I was just stunned. And I still don't understand the algorithm or how it works.
Well, because we went on your page and you go to the place where it says your commission and it's like 0. And it was like, well,
I wonder if you were like in a different program or something that I
Yeah,
don't
have
know
no
about.
idea.
I don't know. So going back to 2020 in the spring, like I have to assume that your family was kind of like, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
they definitely were.
Yeah, they were.
wait, what? Like, well, hold on. When are you going to get your job with insurance and a 401k? And when are you going to do that?
Well, we were stuck at our parents too. We weren't even in College Station during COVID. So
So did you have like a time frame that you gave yourself? Like we have to either do X, Y, and Z by then, or we have to do something else, or we're just going to grind
It was
this
more
out?
for Kortney than me because I was so young. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't.
And you were just starting.
I was on my parents' insurance till I turned 26, and I was like, okay, I have like 3-ish years to figure it out. But then also the whole world was shut down, so that like put, even if I was to try to, you know, go and look for a different job or whatever, most people weren't
COVID
hiring.
did you a favor.
Yeah.
I think it gave anybody that wanted to use that time a time to reset.
Yes.
And
people were like at home on their phones 24/7 because they had
and
nothing
TikTok
else to do.
had just became the big thing.
And I remember going on, and y'all had something to hold your Chick-fil-A sauces. But
In the car, yeah.
in
The
car.
sauce moto.
How do you find the things
products.
that
We spend hours a day on Amazon scrolling, and like you'll hit on one product and then it'll suggest 10 products, and then you find one of those products and you go down a rabbit hole and find
I feel like
all
the
sorts of
suggested
cool
products is
products. Yeah.
sometimes where we find the gems, because like if we bought a car gadget, like it'll suggest different ones, and I can go in there and like, okay, I haven't seen anybody share this before. Let me test it, try it.
So let's say what's been one of the things that you've been most surprised about? Like, I don't know if we should do this. And then
the most recent one,
A dog umbrella.
a dog umbrella.
What?
Our cousins got cute little puppies.
They're
named
micro golden doodles.
Cookie and Crumble. Adorable. And so our cousin Kaylee was like, they were just filming. I mean, we didn't even send them we had sent them a couple products to film, but they had just bought this umbrella and they're like, hey, y'all should share this. And so Kaylee sent me the footage and I'm like, okay. And I was scattering for a video that night because we try to film in advance, but it doesn't always happen. And I'm like, Kortney, what if I just post the dog umbrella? And she was like,
Go for it.
I don't know if it's going to do good, but I mean, go for it. And our joke is if we tell the other one it's not going to do good, typically it does pretty good. Yeah. And so that video went crazy viral, broke our Instagram for a few days.
We called it an
What?
unnecessary Amazon purchase.
Yeah.
It broke your Instagram?
Oh, yeah. We
We
couldn't
like
respond to
couldn't comment
comments.
back to people. Yeah, because it had so much activity. It was a mess for like a
okay,
week.
so I'm for those that don't understand, do you stockpile then this product?
No, Amazon takes care of all the shipping and selling. So we just we go and create an affiliate link, and then we put that link in our bio, and then whenever people click on it, they just buy it like they would any normal Amazon product.
So you guys have basically become a commercial for Amazon products, and you're using channels like Instagram and TikTok. Do you share your reels on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yep.
So all the social media channels.
All the social media.
Which one do you like the most?
Instagram. I feel like I used to
TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok and Instagram are
I feel like a lot of people have mentioned lately they feel like TikTok has changed a lot in the last few months.
They definitely are, and it's gonna be interesting to see how the next 6 months go with
TikTok.
yeah.
Do you have a plan in place for like what you anticipate's coming?
I don't know what will come out of it, but I feel like now we have
It could potentially be sold.
Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like
Could be sold.
when we started, TikTok was our only platform
It's our
that
bread and butter.
that we had grown on significantly. And so we were like, we've got to put work into Instagram or Facebook or another platform, because what if TikTok goes away? We
Right.
need to have something else to go off of. And so since then we've tried to grow our Instagram a lot, which has helped. And then
Or Facebook and YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it takes a lot longer to get that same kind of traction on those other platforms versus
Yes.
TikTok?
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
now TikTok is not as easy to grow on as it was when
I don't
we
think so
started.
either.
I feel like, but I still feel like it's the easiest overall, but it's just not as easy as it was during 2020.
And what's your following on TikTok now?
It's like 470,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So over all your platforms, you probably have 1 million plus.
Around 800,000.
And so and how often do you post?
Every day.
Every day. And then on Instagram and Facebook twice a day.
Really?
We started 2020.
start working harder.
We started 2023 off with posting
Twice a day. on
once.
those.
Once a new content every single day.
Yeah. So we put up one new video across all platforms every day. And then,
So is that one new product?
one new product.
So we alternate days. So she'll post today, then I'll post today.
Okay, so what did we post this week?
yesterday.
What is something you felt really...
yesterday we made a candy purse, an Easter candy
that
purse.
purse that you sent me that had like the coffee in it.
It was a vase.
Do you remember it was like this? It's like a flower vase.
Oh, the glass vase.
Yeah,
You've done Valentine's Day. You've done
St. Patrick's Day.
And
yesterday we
you filled
posted
the
Easter.
Oh, that's cute.
I want to do a coffee one too, and like a summer drink. I just haven't, or like a water or something. I just haven't got there yet. But
Okay,
it's in
so
my
what
mind.
is something that you was sure that it would just take off,
Do
that
well?
it fell flat?
Which one?
Toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
So I can tell this story. Our cousin Kaylee won't get mad at me now. She did it.
Sweet
at the time.
Kaylee, all respects and loves to Kaylee.
We might need a video to back this story up.
Oh, I
have the receipts.
So we had taken a family trip to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee with my grandparents to celebrate their anniversary back in January of last year.
There was like 20 of us.
Yes. So my cousin Kaylee was a newlywed. Her and her sister both were actually newlyweds, but Kaylee's always been the cousin that like I can poke fun at, and she just gives it right back to me. And so I'm like, I got this no tear toilet paper. I'm like, Kaylee, I'm gonna go put it in Kaylee's bathroom. So as soon as we get to the house, I go put it in Kaylee's bathroom.
This is like noon.
Kaylee has not gone up to the bathroom until it was like 10 p.m. By this point, no one knew about the joke. It
Bladder. I haven't heard of.
Yeah, no one knew about the joke at noon. By 10 p.m., she hadn't gone. I'm like, everyone's on board now. I mean, everyone knows about that I had put this no-tear toilet paper in her bathroom.
Everybody's pouring her extra glasses of water.
Well, and we had like a Christmas exchange too. So my uncle, he got the beavers, like a Bucky beaver suit.
Onesie,
and
yeah.
so, yeah.
He was joking around
Yeah,
wearing it upstairs. And then our little cousins, Kelly and Callie, were all in on it. So everyone knew but Kaylee and her husband, Andrew. So Kaylee finally, 9 or 10 p.m., goes into the bathroom, and her husband walks out and says, hey, guys, could I borrow a new roll of toilet paper? Ours isn't working. And I'm like, first off, you're going to borrow it? I don't want it back, but you can have a roll of toilet paper.
Was he laughing or was he
No,
just like,
no, they were so mad at
He
us.
was so pissed.
how do you even say to somebody your toilet paper's
Won't
broke?
rip. And so we're by this point,
And he's new to the family,
Oh,
so
yeah,
he
new
really
to the
doesn't
family.
understand the diet.
yeah, they were not happy with us. But I'm like, now it's
She didn't soften the blow for you? Like, this is my cousin and this is how we roll?
No.
Oh,
she should have, because I spoke at her other sister's wedding and gave a pretty good speech. But he had already been on, so I gave him a nickname. He worked at NASA at the time, and so our family is full of nicknames. And so I had the bright idea to nickname my cousin Jeremy Uranus. Gave the whole speech in front of the wedding. It was great, but I had already picked on him, so like I didn't feel like, and I missed Kaylee's wedding. I wasn't there for it. And so I was like, I need to do something to Kaylee and Andrew. And so I did the toilet paper, and they got very mad at us.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about it and laugh about it. But at the
And so
time, it was a sensitive subject.
And Karlee had filmed this before the prank had happened. To like whenever she was
And this
placing
is
it.
before the other prank.
Yeah, before she placed it in the bathroom, or like as she was placing it in the
Yeah,
bathroom,
I
she
filmed
filmed it and she filmed the whole video. So before Kaylee even
I
discovered
had
the
already
toilet
edited
paper,
the video, and I was ready to post, but I was
Yeah.
waiting on her to
and
discover
like this
it.
whole like family blow up explosion happened. I'm like, Karlee, you can't post that. Like,
I'm like,
they're gonna
Kaylee will
be
get
so
over it.
pissed.
I'm posting it.
I'm in. I'm invested.
Which now Kaylee is totally fine with it and laughs about it. But at the time,
she's a morning person.
And it took off. People went nuts.
Oh,
for
yeah,
it.
it was
my
crazy.
gosh. Yeah, we sold it out on Amazon.
and it's gone viral on Facebook a couple times, but
That's crazy.
it's just a funny story because she like got
So
mad at me.
did he ever come back and be like, hey, what's my commission on this?
No, but they did negotiate on the pup umbrella, on the dog umbrella.
Because
So
they filmed it.
Oh. All right.
But both of those were unnecessary Amazon purchase. That's like
Oh,
what we
absolutely.
like.
Our
Hashtag
April
Amazon
Fools,
made me
yeah,
buy it.
I was gonna say unnecessary ones seem to do well. April Fools last year we had a
Pizza pack.
pizza pack, and it was like
Necklace.
a clear. My favorite.
Oh, the one you.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yes.
That
So
was our
my
April
favorite
Fool's Day
comment
post.
was we filmed it in front of Kyle Field, and one of our friends commented, and they're like, "It's even clearback policy approved." I'm like,
I was
"That's
like,
so
I
good."
didn't think of that.
So how do your friends feel about what you do now and your family?
I feel like they think it's cool now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them too, they don't quite like fully understand it.
Right. Like when I call my
Especially-
Mimi,
yeah.
she's like, how's your pod? And I'm like, it's not a storage unit, Mimi. Like,
Hey, our Mimi and Pops are our biggest fans. They watch all of our
Yeah.
videos.
Comment and like, they're our first
That's
likes.
so
But no,
awesome.
I feel like it took, especially like my mom, she kind of knew it, but my dad, it definitely took him a few
while to
years
catch
to
on
to it,
understand.
yeah.
Be like,
And
now
now he's,
he's
like,
that's a
mind
real
blown.
job. Like you can make money from it. I'm like, yes.
so when you started in 2020, what amount of time do you think you were investing a week versus how
Courtney
much
was a lot
time?
more
Oh,
than me.
24/7.
I mean, I was still in
24/7?
school,
Yeah.
but
Are you 24/7 now? Yeah.
24/7 times 2.
You're on the
and,
grind.
You know, it's crazy because I could, even before 2020, especially, I wouldn't do this one so much, but I could text her at 3:30 in the morning and say, not expecting a response.
Oh,
but
she sent her answers for the pod last night at like 1:30 in the morning. And I'm
Hey, I wrote those out earlier. She just didn't send them.
Yeah. But no matter what time I was awake, I could always count on her being awake.
I'm such a night owl.
Yeah, it was Kristi always says that we both worked for her, but technically I never worked for her. I was the BOGO kid is what she called me.
Yeah.
So if Kortney came, Karlee was coming too.
Yeah.
But it's worked out, right?
It's a family affair.
Look, it's Kortney and Karlee.
Yeah.
And for anybody
Exactly.
that wants to find you on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, so any social media, tell them how you spell it.
Kortney and then Karlee's
Karlee.
Kortney and Karlee
Thanks
on
to our
anything. And
parents
they
for
will
naming
show you
us
all
funky
of the
spellings.
amazing things that you never knew you needed.
Well, but do you find yourself buying things on there that
Well, I would have to think you have half of your
have a whole
house.
room.
We have a whole
Right.
room
Whole
dedicated
room of
to it and a
products. It's
storage
not
is
even-
unit.
dedicated?
These products have not even been filmed. And we
Touched.
have a storage unit that, again, too. Most of those have not even been filmed. Yeah. No, it's crazy.
So these companies send you their products.
A lot of them send them to
Or
us.
Amazon
but-
sends them.
Yes, but I just have like I have an email that just auto sends. It's like if
Now,
you want to,
sorry.
if you want, like if you're well, feel free to send anything, but there's no guarantee that we'll share it. Like if you're interested in a paid partnership.
Now, do big brands reach out to you and want to do paid
Yes,
partnerships?
we had a big collab with P&G.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really big one.
And was it Walmart or Target?
Yes,
we had a-
Walmart. We work with Walmart a lot.
Do you have a manager? Do you have
No.
you just all
Me,
do it?
you're looking
Yeah.
at myself and I.
I mean, you're killing it. You're how old now?
I'm 26.
I mean, that's finally got your own health insurance.
Yes,
This year
I
was a
had to
big
get it in June.
But did you ever anticipate that this is exactly where you'd be at the point when you guys started this?
No, I had no idea.
And
No,
were
I was
you-
just doing it for literally. I was just doing it for fun.
I mean, I feel like
if
it's
it
a
never-
dream job. We literally get to work like
Yeah.
my best friend. I get to work with her, and I mean, it's nice because like if we get, I feel like a normal coworker. If I get mad at someone, Kortney's gonna hear about it, and in 10 minutes, she's gonna be over it, and we're gonna be back to working like normal.
So when you need somebody that says, okay, since you are, I always felt like, back even when I started in the internet close to 30 years ago, I didn't have anybody to go to say, hey, how do you do this? Because we were like the Wild West.
Yeah.
There was less than 5,000 websites when I started.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I remember them
You are
saying,
the queen of the internet. I mean,
Yeah, the queen of the internet. I know, right? But where do you go to get help is it Upwork? Is it Fiverr?
live and learn, and now I feel like we've made a network of other
And
influencers.
going to like the Amazon events, we have like friends now that we're like,
we can
oh,
text and
hey.
be like, hey, something's up with Instagram stories. Like, what are you doing? What's working for you? And
Well, and the day two, it was like 2 weeks ago when Instagram shut down for the day. Like I thought
It did?
Yeah.
yeah, the whole meta, everything meta was down.
I was like,
That was the day
I
after we
called
launched
Kortney.
our podcast.
yeah, I had just woke up and I was trying to post our morning video. Kortney's so we have opposite sleep
But didn't
schedules.
AT&T went down?
that too.
Yeah,
Oh.
so Kortney was asleep, and we had just gone through this whole thing of our Instagram being broken. My Facebook had been hacked. So I'm terrified of anything happening at this point. So I called Kortney. Kortney, what is I can't get an Instagram. I can't post. What do I do? And then she was like, Karlee, check down detector. I'm like, well, I didn't think to check down detector. So
What's
and then it
down
was
detector?
It tells you if any of that like major apps
So,
are out.
yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm like, if we as soon as
Is
I did
that a
that,
software?
it's just like a
The
website.
website.
I just
Could you
Google
get
it.
like a couple bring a friend coupons to that Amazon thing?
I'll see if we can work on that.
But I noticed today when I was doing some work that there are some recon that there is software programs that it tells you go to look at these products.
The
or
top sellers.
Top sellers.
Amazon will send us
an email, or
emails,
we can see them
go
on
on there
our
and check
dashboard.
it at any time.
Because each product on Amazon has a score of how popular it is.
Yes, and then there's also like
Go
the movers
ratings and
and shakers, which
Right. So that's what they were talking about.
Those are like the top sold products in the last 24 hours, and I think they update hourly.
But you don't really want those if they've
well, it
already...
depends. If it's a new product that maybe it's just starting to get traction, but no one's posted a video about it.
Yeah.
People are wanting to see something before they buy it because they see that it's going viral, but they haven't seen a video about it. So if we have a chance to get on those before other people do, then we jump at those opportunities.
I had made, or we were messing around pretending to be Kortney and Karlee. What was it? Probably a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
We made
a couple of your hair products.
But we went on and made a video about
How to curl your hair.
how to let it dry and not look like you just let it dry. And
I remember making that video with you thinking, oh my gosh, like I get how this would work. Like that other lady that you've watched on YouTube, she just had this comment the other day where she said, if you develop a relationship with somebody that you've seen on social media, right? Like that guy walked up to you and he was like, KK, he'd never met you, but he's seen you for years. When you form that kind of a relationship with somebody you just view from the outside, and then all of a sudden they start recommending, hey, I use this, you might like to try it. Everybody's going to be more apt to want to buy it because you've validated, hey, I like it, it works,
because you're building trust
for sure
with your community.
Yes. Yeah. No, if we don't like the product, like we won't share it. Right. I mean, even like our unnecessary ones, like it's, even though it may be unnecessary, it still works and does exactly what it
claims to.
Yeah.
How many, how much built up content have you filmed? Like
we've been trying, we spontaneously planned this is going out after that. So we planned a trip to go to Florida.
We have a surprise trip.
We're leaving tomorrow morning to go to Orlando to surprise our cousins. Yeah. None of them know we're coming. So if we can pull this off, it'll be crazy. So we're going to surprise Kaylee.
Aww. Well,
it's our
you
aunt's
gotta up
birthday.
your game. What, you got toilet paper? What is this?
What's the prank?
We don't have
nothing.
any pranks this time.
And we're bringing Courtney's best friend and her little 2.5, almost 3-year-old.
So look at you go to Disney.
Kellen and Emmett and her little
for his first time.
Charlotte. We're taking to Disney for the first time.
I know we really picked a bad time, but it just
spring break. Yeah.
So you filmed all the content.
So we've been trying to film in advance.
Yeah. I have like 15 videos pre-filmed.
Yeah,
and
I'm
edited.
not. She's type A.
She's the overachiever.
I'm last minute. 10 minutes before it goes up, I'll go film it.
And so what do you edit with? What do you
CapCut. We film everything on our phone and then we edit with CapCut.
Yep.
And so do you have a separate storage device? It's like, this is all of our backup.
So we put everything
Like I would be,
on
I mean, that's
Dropbox.
your bread and butter.
Yes.
All of a sudden, if you say, okay, lightning struck and this wiped everything out.
Well, this is something we've been contemplating. If TikTok were to go away, there's videos that we from
don't have
2020
saved.
that we started posting. We don't have saved yet.
So that's on my to-do list.
But like since we started posting regularly every single day, we've saved them all
since 2023
to Dropbox.
Yeah, because
that's smart too. I wouldn't have even thought of that.
And they're all labeled because we share like 25 to 40-ish Instagram. We try to deals on Instagram stories daily, and so like
25 to 40, a day.
So you're posting almost.
When do you sleep?
Every 30
we
minutes.
have opposite sleep schedules. That's what I'm saying. It works great.
Are you serious? Like you guys rotate?
No,
this
literally.
24/7?
She gets up at like 3 p.m. and stays awake until probably 4 a.m. And then I get up around 5 or 6 and work until 3 or 4.
I'm in awe.
I am too.
So someone's covering it 24/7 pretty much.
So if
So
like
every
a product
30
goes on
minutes, y'all are
sale,
posting something.
yeah, if a product goes on sale and we already have
Do
a
we need
video
to pause
over
for
it,
you to make a break?
Yeah.
no, you're good.
Lighting deals or, I mean, and you've got to jump on like a lighting deal.
If there's coupon code,
You don't know how fast it's going to sell out.
What about bullying? What about like social media bullies?
We have been
You're
very
trollers.
honestly, we have been very blessed. I feel like
doing-
the worst we ever had was me in high school, and that wasn't really
Yeah.
bad. I mean,
Really?
we have been very blessed to not have.
We have gets like some hate comments, but mostly they're just like, your voice is annoying or that product is so stupid. And like, I called it unnecessary.
Like, you didn't have to buy it. You didn't have to
you don't
watch
have
it.
to watch it.
Do you have like any loyal followers that will like leave funny comments that you can always
Yes,
count on, like so
for
and so?
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I just am so proud of you guys.
Aw, thank you.
I mean, just
well, we learned
But
from the
we
best.
wouldn't be
No.
we wouldn't be where we were today if we didn't have you.
for sure.
I don't know about that. So how many trips will Amazon bring you on a year?
It's pretty new since, I mean, they're kind of growing with the program. I guess 2022 is when we
we
took
went
our
on-
first trip, and it was only once that year.
It was the Austin one.
And then 2023, we
had
went on
3.
3.
Did Amazon Lives, are those still kind of
thing?
taking off? Or
I think
they?
they're kind of changing it a little bit. I don't really
Yeah.
know what it's.
We used to do lives a lot, and we need to get back on doing it. Just got to find the time.
Now, have y'all thought about putting out any type of tutorial list, or this is how you want to be like us? You know, a lot of people will.
Or we're gonna sell a course.
We've thought about that, but I mean, I feel like I learned everything from Google. So like, if people want to do it, it's information's out there.
And I
Right.
feel like we're
It would
pretty
take
friendly. And I mean,
Yeah.
if people ask us,
if we DM
try
us,
to share,
I
yeah.
answer.
Yeah, I can't tell
Yeah.
you how many nights we'd call you and you'd show up with your computer and be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is how you do this. This
Yeah.
is how you do this. You have to
Well, we just
like
think
what-
like people
Helped
helped
us along
us
the
to
way.
get where we are.
Right.
So we would like to, you know.
Well, it's like what Mr. Beast said. Like
Right.
whatever level of dedication you're going to put to this is going to be your payoff.
Mhm.
That's what you're going to get back.
For sure.
And all of it, because everything is so, what you're creating is such individual content that everybody's learning experience and what their avenue is going to look like is so individual anyways. Like there's
Yeah.
no way to
Yes.
read a book to say this is exactly how you make this
Exactly.
happen.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what other forecasts do you see coming? Or do they talk about
Or
that?
where do you want to take this?
Right.
I think I'm just keep rolling with it for as
Yeah.
long as I can. I feel like.
You don't see like early retirement in your
No.
future? Or,
I feel like we like both of us enjoy creating
Yeah.
the content.
And I feel like there's so many different, like, you know, as our lives grow and evolve, I feel like we'll probably with our content too. So I don't know.
Now,
we'll see.
do you start looking at things differently? I have to wonder, like, when you say, okay, I'd like to buy this product or
Mhm.
this, or I'd like to buy a second home here. Do you in your mind go, that's going to be X amount a month. That's this many reels, or
Well, it's
that's
hard-
this many.
well, it's
Do
hard
you
to
start
say.
counting it like that? That's how I would
Kind
do
of,
it.
but it varies every month. Like we know that typically
Q4
Prime
is our
Day and
best.
Q4 are going to be the best.
Yeah.
and Prime Day is what day?
We don't know.
July.
We don't know.
when
It's going to
it
be
is.
probably in
July.
July.
And is that what constitutes Prime Day for those that don't know?
So it's like 2 days a year or 48 hours that Amazon just takes and marks tons of their products down. And so
And so,
that's like the first
On
Well,
discount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on discount. Yeah. And it's a lot of like the, I guess, luxury, like especially like the luxury beauty products that don't ever go on sale. They're anywhere from like 20, 30, 40% off.
So what do you have to do to prepare for Prime Day?
Just film content for the products.
And
So
you
we
get-
typically have an idea of like
Yeah.
what's going to be on
Now,
sale.
do they send you Amazon say,
Yes.
look, we really would like to promote?
Well, they
Well,
just
it
send
says
us
a
like
list of everything
It's like an
that's on sale.
Excel sheet.
It's
And
very
so
overwhelming.
You have to like go and dig and like search like, oh, I want this Laneige lip mask. I wonder if it's going to be on sale. And so I'm like searching it, and then it is on sale. You know,
And so,
So
we can get some content.
it's like an
pre-made.
Excel sheet, but I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of products, so you got to do a lot of digging to figure out.
You know, one of the
what to
things
promote.
next time, just in case you see Jeff and Lauren
Yeah.
before I do on the yacht, you need to tell them to bring back the program that
Oh,
you,
the Amazon Smile, yes,
Amazon Smile.
I know.
We made so much money
Yeah.
at Canines off of that. And that basically, if you were ordering, you just order and pop in that we're your charity of choice.
Mhm.
And so
Their
everything,
nonprofit would get
the
money.
nonprofit would then
Percentage.
get a certain percent. And they did away with it.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully they're going to roll out with something new.
yeah.
That's
Hopefully
better.
better.
I feel like Amazon's always evolving and changing.
Is there a suggestion
sure.
box when you go on these retreats?
Right.
No, usually no.
Maybe bring your own and leave it, and somebody will take it back to headquarters. So, for anything else that anybody who's listening and they think that they want to venture off into this business or line of work, what would be your biggest piece of advice?
Go for it.
Post it.
Yeah.
You're not going to
If you
get
make
anywhere
it-
just not, hitting post.
All right. Well, with that being said, you know all the places to find us and like us and subscribe to us. And you can find Kortney and Karlee on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the good places, and go shop their products on Amazon because we will.
Because # Amazon made me buy it.
And say goodnight, Lucy.
Good night, Lucy.